Hi everybody, this is Jerry. Welcome back to Metaphysics for Kids. How we doing today? Huh? Are we doing all the things we've been learning? We've been sharing with others, caring about others, giving off positive energy. Are we learning to meditate? And I know you are. Hey, today, you know, it's just nearly Halloween. And guess what? I've got my little bat guy here. He's going to help me today. And I got my orange shirt on. I'm ready for Halloween. How about you guys? Today, let's talk a little bit about balance, okay? Balance in our lives. Have you ever thought about that? And what it is we actually need to balance? Let's think about it. What are we made of? We have our mind, right? And we have our body, and we also have our spirit. So all those three things we need to balance. Some way we need to do this, okay? So why in the world would we need to do that? Well, I think we'd all like to be a little healthier, wouldn't we? We don't like being sick. We like to be able to learn things easily, don't we? Do better in school. And how about getting along with others? Maybe that's something we'd like to get a little bit better at. Well, that's where balancing in our life comes in, okay? So let's start off, and we're going to talk about the mind first, all right? So our mind, as we talked about before, was like the supercomputer of the body, right? So what do we do to feed our mind? Well, we need to keep it active, don't we? We need to keep it active, and we need to keep it learning. You know, all my life, even when I was a little bitty guy, and I'm a dinosaur now, so I've been around a long time, but I've always liked to learn things. I mean, I always wanted to know about stuff. I wanted to know about plants, how they grew or why they grew, or the stars and the planets. You know, I was always very curious. So to me, learning came very easily, but for some people, maybe it doesn't. You know, and today, let's think about what goes on in your everyday life. You've got lots of games. Sometimes they're video games. We've got TV. We've got computers. We got cell phones. So a lot of those things keep our mind active, right? But do we actually learn from those things? Now that's a pretty good question. When I was a little guy, many of those things we didn't have. We had games, but they were like board games, and you know, we'd roll the dice and see how many spaces we had to move. So you know what, we learned to count, didn't we? Because we moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes we'd land on a space and pick up a card to tell us what to do. So that helped us to learn read. Well, a lot of the video games today too, you can do the same thing. Now, a lot of video games you just may sit there for hours and hours, just shoot them up or whatever, but are you really learning from those kind? You know, maybe not so much, but there are a lot of good video games out there where you can learn to count or learn to read or learn mathematics, you know, or learn about different places and different things. So there are some very good ones out there, and although the other kind are good, they keep our mind active, maybe we're not learning quite so much. And the same with TV. When I was a little bitty guy, you know, back in the dinosaur days, we had cartoons, we had a few news shows, and most of the other stuff was just entertainment. You know, we didn't have very many channels. Now you got crazy amount of channels. So let's talk a little bit about, you know, what you're watching on TV, because I know you can spend hours in front of it, but what are you really learning out of it? Well, you can tune into cartoons that'll help you to read, and will help you to count, and help you learn the alphabet. You know, those are good things to learn. You know, there's channels where you can learn about different countries and different people and different foods they eat, you know, so that's a good thing. You're learning from that, you know, and think about computers and cell phones. You know, you can access all this information. I mean, you can sit on your cell phone and text each other and tweet and all these things, you know, but are you really learning much? Well, you're learning that your friends are, you know, doing their homework or washing clothes or cleaning house, but I mean, are you really learning much? Well, you can use them to learn. There's lots of things you can do on computer and cell phones, you know, programs you can go and watch and things you can learn on there. Very, very useful. Because we didn't have any of that computers when I was a little kid. We had books, and you know, I really enjoyed reading. Pick up a book sometime. They're pretty good. They still make them, you know? Very, very cool. So now let's move on a second to our body, okay? Now we also need to feed it, don't we? Let's think about our body, you know? It's pretty important, isn't it? We want to feel good. We want to have a lot of energy and be strong, but we can't do that unless we feed it the right kind of food. You know, when we go through the school line and we're looking at all the food and the choices we can make for lunch, you know, we look and whoop, there's some pizza. Yep, that's what I want. You know, I love pizza. Believe me, don't get me wrong, I love it, but I can't eat it every day because you know what? I know it's not that good for my body. I need vegetables, I need fruit, I need milk. You know, I can't drink soda pop all the time. In fact, I hardly ever drink a soda pop anymore. I drink milk and I drink water, you know, things that are really good for your body. So we got to take care of our body, give it the right food, and exercise. Let's think about this too. What happens if we don't get exercise? We spend too much time in front of the TV or computer or video games, and pretty soon, you know, wow, we don't have any energy, you know, oh, I don't feel good, I don't sleep good. Why? Because you know what, we're not getting any exercise, are we? You know, winter months, and they're coming on pretty soon here, and where I live, it gets cold outside, and I don't like the cold that much sometimes, you know, so the summer months, you know, and warm weather, I get out a lot. I love to go on walks. I like to work in the yard and the garden and things. I keep pretty active, you know, but winter time's a different story. I have to make myself do some of these things. On the nice days, I want to get out and walk, you know, but I also do a little qigong. I do some yoga and maybe some aerobics along the way. You know, you got to stay strong. You got to stay healthy because nobody likes being sick, right? So you got to do these things for your body. If everything's in balance, everything works good. So let's move on a second now. Now, third thing is our spirit. Now, what's that all about? Well, let's just think about it just a minute. Our spirit is pretty much what connects us to other people, to our whole planet, to the universe, to God, or however way you want to look at it, you know. These are the things that connect us. And what do we get from spirit? We get creativity. Ever thought about that? We get better at making things, creating things. So let's talk a second about some of the things we can do to actually feed our spirit. You know, if you're an artist, okay, and you love to draw or paint, you know, do it. If you enjoy it, get out there and do it. You know, if you like to write stories or songs, do it. That helps feed our spirit. That helps feed our creativity. You know, if there's so many ways. Nature, I love nature, you know. A lot of you might like to go to the beach and play in the sand and play in the water. I like that. I like the mountains too, you know. I like to go out hiking and see all the different birds and animals, smell the pine trees. It's just, oh, I love that stuff. I love nature. So that's a good way to feed the spirit, you know. If you like Sunday school or church or synagogue or temple and learn about some of those great teachings, you know, that's a good way to feed your spirit. You know, anytime we feed our spirit, we just build creativity. And why is that important? Well, let's just think about it. When I was a little kid, you know what? There wasn't computers, was there? But somewhere along the way, somebody thought, wow, wouldn't it be cool to make this thing where you could have this box right here where you could get all sorts of information, you could connect with people around the world. You know, I want to make this. But how do I do it? So you need your creative forces working so you get the answers. You start to figure things out, you know. Cell phones the same way. When I was a little guy, we had a telephone, but it was in the house, and then somebody came along and said, you know what, I got an idea. Wouldn't it be cool to have a telephone that you could carry around? You put it in your pocket and take with you every day. That way you could keep in touch with your parents and friends, and wouldn't that be cool? Well, somebody had to figure out how to do it. They had to create it, didn't they? You know, and think about this. You got to have that creativity going. Maybe one of these days you'll be the person that, you know, you sit there and go, wow, you know, there's so many bad diseases, you know. I want to find something that will cure that so there is no more disease. Well, you got to have that creativity so you can figure it out, don't you? Of course you do. That's why it's so important to feed the spirit, so we get that good creativity. And, you know, when we get all these things in balance, our mind, we have a good active mind that keeps learning all the time. I keep learning all the time. There's still things I want to learn, you know. I don't understand. I don't know how they work, and I keep learning. Technology is a big challenge for me. I didn't grow up with that stuff, so I have to keep learning, don't I? And our body, you know, if it's strong, if it's healthy, we don't get sick, we feel good, you know. That's so important. And feed the spirit, right? Keep that creativity going. That's what makes our world a better place, right? Keep all these things in balance. You're going to be happier. You're going to be healthier. You're going to be able to create more beautiful things. You know, the little things in life aren't going to be such big things anymore. You know, if you're an artist and somebody comes along and you just spent a lot of hours on a painting and you worked really hard to get it just right, and somebody comes along and looks and goes, you know, that's not quite my thing. And instead of going, oh, you know, but to another person, you know, they might look at it and go, wow, that is beautiful. I love that. And you feel, oh, so good. Well, you know, if everything's in balance, that first person that just sort of, you know, you don't let that bother you so much, you know. You know, well, it's okay. I understand there's different people. You know, I like things that you don't. You like things that I don't. It's okay. We're all different, you know. These little things don't become big things, right? So we're happier, we're healthier, we're more creative, and we make the world a better place, don't we? We do. Thanks to you. Guys, thank you for being here today. You're doing so beautiful. You're doing so wonderful. Each and every one of you are so, so very special. All your talents, they're just marvelous. Keep up the good work, and we'll see you soon. Today, let's just take just a second. And, you know, we close most all our episodes with giving good energy out. Today, I want to give it good energy out to all the children in the world, okay? You know, some are happy, some are sad, maybe some have enough to eat, maybe some don't, some are healthy, some are sick. Let's just send out good energy and see if we can't bring them all up today, okay? All right, go with me now. I want you to close your eyes, get comfortable, and we're going to do like we learned in our meditations. We're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. In through our nose, out through our mouth. In through our nose, out through our mouth. With every breath, we're going to see this beautiful white light around our head, and it's getting bigger and bigger with every breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Very calm, very gentle. In through the nose, out through the mouth. That beautiful white light's getting larger and larger, isn't it? Bigger and bigger. You guys ready? Let's send it out. Send it out to all the beautiful children out there. They're going to pick up this beautiful energy. They're going to feel better. They're going to feel healthier. They're going to feel happier. They're going to feel safer, more secure. Send it out. Send it out. Okay, come back with me, guys. Thank you. The children of the world, thank you too. You guys are super. We'll see you next time. Bye.